looking back, feeling stronger, ready to launch the attack. Do you remember when we were the cream of the crop? They still Bible. And the carbon we got, they took us away from Africa with an intention to kill our culture. But through the power of the Most High, our mental capacity get wider.
Absolutely amazing, guys. Good morning to you and welcome back to Sunrise, Rise and Shine. It's time to get up, it's time for work, it's time for school, and it's time to just, you know, seize the moment and seize the day. Indeed. And we're here to start you off as we're here with you. Good morning to all our viewers all across the world. We love you, we appreciate you, thank you so very much. Well, it's that time of the morning for another Diaspora Link Up. And this morning, it's all about keeping the Caribbean culture alive and thriving in the city of Boston. We're checking in with author, advocate, and Boston's official Caribbean cultural advisor, Bianca Rose, to hear how she's been keeping our culture blooming. Good morning, Bianca.
Good morning, Bianca.
Good morning, guys. Thank you for having me.
The rose, the rose, the rose that continues to bloom. Talk to us. Well, talk to me about the weather over there at this time. I know in parts of New Jersey and New York, the snow are
very cold.
Them bad. What's it like in Boston at the moment?
It is snowing right now. At this very moment, I hear the snow trucks trying to clean up snow before people have to start commuting to work. So it's snowing, unfortunately.
Wow. Well, when you look outside and you see that whiteness and the snow, because I tell people, you know, snow only look good on TV, but when you have it to deal with in real life, it's a total different kettle of fish. As a Caribbean person, you know, how do you make that mental switch to deal with that? I know you've been in Boston for years, but still, you know, the sunshine and the snow,
Well, it helps when you know that you make frequent visits back home. So this is not a forever thing. You know it's not a forever thing. And like you said, it looks very pretty, but once you step outside, it's a whole nother situation. But I think knowing that you return back home and, you know, you visit the Caribbean often, it keeps you sane. So,
Bianca, I'm curious about what drives what you do. And, you know, when I think about, you know, the different places that you've been in terms of Caribbean representation, this pushing of a Caribbean identity in a global context, for you, what does it mean to be Caribbean, as distinct from just being Barbadian or Jamaican or Trinidadian? What does it mean to be Caribbean and have that sense of Caribbean community?
Great question. Thanks for asking. I think coming from the Caribbean, and I'm a person that really likes to uphold her African roots, coming from the Caribbean, and, you know, me being basically kind of raised here in America, there is a big difference, a sense of pride from Caribbean people. And I like to attribute that to their connection to their African roots, their ability to kind of uphold it through slavery, through whatever rings after that. I think there's just a sense of, there's really like a sense of strong pride that Caribbean people have that is very connected to their African roots. Just to put that in a
nutshell. Well, talk to me, Bianca, because this just happened over the weekend. President Joe Biden, outgoing President Joe Biden, has exonerated our very own first national hero, Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Of what importance and significance is that to the Caribbean community over there in the United States and to you?
Finally, by the way, and shout out to Marcus Garvey's family for going so hard for so many decades to get this to happen. And there's still ways to go. But, you know, Marcus Garvey, who is a Jamaican national hero, but not too many Americans know about Marcus Garvey or his importance. Marcus Garvey, just to kind of put it in a nutshell, he did so much work here in America, and his goal was to get the African diaspora, Black people, American Black people included, to want to return to Africa, to get connected to their roots. And he received so much fight, especially from Black Americans, unfortunately. Like, you know, great leaders like W.B. Du Bois, they didn't really understand his mission. And, you know, one of my favorite things about Marcus Garvey was the fact that he met with the Ku Klux Klan. I don't know if you guys are familiar with who the Ku Klux Klan are.
Yeah, definitely.
But the Ku Klux Klan are they were white people who used to basically murder Black people for no reason at all, to have no basis, have no reason. And Marcus Garvey actually met with the Ku Klux Klan. Both groups happily met with each other at some point in the 1920s. I think it was 1923. And they met with each other because they felt like they had aligned visions. Ku Klux Klan didn't want Black people around in America, and Marcus Garvey felt like we should return back home to Africa. And when this meeting happened, it sparked up a lot of debate, especially and a lot of fight, especially from American Black people. Ultimately, I believe that's the reason why he was deported back to Jamaica. It wasn't because of mail fraud, but he received so much fight from Black Americans who didn't see his mission. All he was trying to say was, listen, I understand you don't want me here, and I'm not even trying to be here. I was brought here. I was kidnapped from where I was at in the first place, and I was brought here. And I don't want to be here either. I gotta go. I love myself. I don't want to be here either. I want to go back to where I come from, to my homeland. And I'm not waiting for you to accept me either. You know, this again, going back to this Caribbean pride, this Jamaican pride, there's definitely a different sense of pride when it comes to Caribbean people that I just really love and respect.
There's a fearlessness about him, and there's a similarity in terms of the work that he was trying to do from a pan-Caribbean, pan-African perspective, and the work that you're trying to do, and quite rightly, the Fearless book.
Yeah.
Tell us about the book and where inside you it's coming from.
Okay, so funny enough, I wrote this book about 4 years ago because of Trump coming into presidency, and today happens to be his first day of office. But I wrote this book because, you know, living in America, you experience a lot of fear amongst people. Not me personally, and not my Jamaican family, not my Jamaican comrades. I mean, to me, to Jamaican, it was just like another day of, you know, getting by. But outside of my Caribbean environment, I just experienced a lot of fear amongst people, and I was kind of confused about it. And it made me think about Jamaicans more. Why Jamaicans have this large sense of pride, why they have this large sense of fearlessness, going from my mom, my dad, my family members, strangers, whomever. So I wanted to delve into it more because what I was trying to do was come up. This book it's supposed to be like a formula for people to read, really outside of the Jamaican culture. It's not really for Jamaicans. But I was trying to develop a formula to get people to stop being scared, to be honest with you. And I wanted to delve more into why Jamaicans are so fearless. Now, when I started to write that book, you know, I didn't realize how much information I would be coming across. And I just found out so much cool information about Jamaicans, why they have so much pride. I mean, this is just going way beyond slavery. I just wanted to see where it all started from. So that's kind of how this book came about, which is so funny how Trump's first day is today, by the way. And this is the reason why I wrote it in the first place.
Wow. Well, it's full circle. Yeah. It's come full circle. And let me just ask you quickly, Bianca, as the cultural advisor for the city of Boston, in what ways do you incorporate the Caribbean and who we are as a people, what we stand for, what we believe in, so that in that big melting pot of the United States of America, Caribbean people can have that strong sense of identity?
Great questions. Thank you, Miss Kitty. So I just started this position a few months ago, and this position was not existent at all before I came in. They had other advisors. So it's a big feat, and I'm not just a Jamaican advisor. I'm the Caribbean culture advisor, so I have to think of everybody. But, you know, fostering community is very important to me, and throwing out lots of events so our community is exposed to the Caribbean culture. And also making sure that our Caribbean community feels included. So, you know, we have every Independence Day that whatever Caribbean country has, I make sure that there's a flag raising at City Hall. Our mayor, who I do advise, usually always shows up to every flag raising. I know we have Grenada and St. Lucia's coming up next month. Jamaica's is not for a few months, but it's always a big, big celebration. And to be honest with you, that's a very, it's a very open-ended question because, and it's a limitless question that you're asking, Miss Kitty, because there's so much work that I want to do that hasn't been done.
Yeah.
all I can think about is just always making sure that the Caribbean people who have contributed so much to Boston's development over the last few decades, just always making sure that they feel like included, like they feel respected, like they feel like they're heard.
Yeah.
And we do have a strong community here too. Everybody just thinks that Boston is only white people, which is not true. There's definitely a huge community here. So yeah, lots of work to be done. I know the community is excited to have me here too. So I'm just looking forward to making sure that I'm hearing everybody out and I'm executing things that the Caribbean community wants to see happen. And the mayor is actually very appreciative of me being in this position too, because she does care a lot. So
nice.
Sounds great.
Well, congrats to you, girl.
Congratulations.
You did that.
Congratulations. Looking forward to even more great things. Thank you very much. Our guest has been Bianca Rose, Caribbean Cultural Advisor for the city of Boston. She's an author as well. Go check out her book, The Fearless Book.
Yeah.
All right, coming up next, we're talking money, memes, and a TikTok ban. Could your favorite app be disappearing? I highly doubt it. But what does it mean in terms of your wallet? Financial guru Carlton Stewart is breaking it all down in Money Masterclass. It's brought to you by Guardian Life. Stay with us.